Hey everybody out there, my name's Tommy. This is my channel, Counting on the Big Sleep. And if you just hang on for 1 minute, I got something I want to tell you. It's a good story, you know. But if you watch the video just for maybe 1 minute or two, it would be grateful and helpful to expanding this channel. YouTube hates me for some reason, you know. But and a lot of people know that, I'm 58. I lost my job about 2 years ago, and I've been working different jobs. And the last job that I'm doing now, I've been working there for a good 6 months, but I have to travel close to 100 miles, when I go there to work, and wear and tearing on the car and stuff, And out of the 4 new tires that I got, 2 of them keep going, losing air. So I was like, oh man, can't win sometimes. You can't win, But I'm not an expert on YouTube or anything. I don't know how it all works and stuff. I'm just talking, telling, my stories, and trying to create videos that are entertaining, somewhat, maybe make you laugh and giggle, But the story I wanted to tell you was, I was driving a couple weeks ago, and I noticed an airplane in the sky, and it was like a picture. It was just there, It didn't look like it was moving or anything. So I pulled over, and I looked at it for a few seconds, and then it turned, and then you hear the roar of the engine, and it shot off that way, It was so weird, because it was like it was just in the sky, dead still, I couldn't believe it. Oh, but yeah, maybe my kid thinks I'm losing my mind. He thinks I'm going crazy. Maybe I am. I'm 58, be 59 pretty soon. I don't know anymore about life. I'm old enough to know that, the older you get, the harder it gets. It does. And, with the way things are going, I would not put it past, if later on, if we put boots on the ground out in the Middle East, I would not be surprised if there wasn't a draft, and Gen Z is gonna flip and just go nuts if they try and draft on people, and force them to go into military, to fight in a war over in the Middle East. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be rough. If Trump doesn't do it, if I think JD Vance would. That's just my opinion. Oh, it's a beautiful day out. I like the sun. I like it nice and warm. I like warm. I hate the humidity. Humidity is tough out here. It is. The humidity really gets to you. But we're sitting over by the lake. Here, I'll show you a picture. The lake, people are fishing out there and stuff. I don't really do any fishing. My brother used to fish. I watched him one time clean a fish, and I was like, holy crap. Like he nailed the fish's head right to the board, and then he cut it up. I was like, oh man, that's brutal. That's brutal. Oh. But I like 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I got 1 sister left, and she has Alzheimer's and a bit of dementia. I need to go visit her once. I haven't seen her in a couple months. I haven't seen her in a while. Because I used to live there. I used to live over there with them, but I needed my own space. I really did. So I rented a room in a guy's house. Not that I didn't have my own space there. I did. I mean, I had my own room. It's just, they got a lot of dogs and stuff, and it's hard to sneak around when dogs are barking at you and stuff. You want to go to the bathroom or something, the dogs start barking at you. Like, holy crap. It's like, Going out, dogs barking. Coming in, dogs barking. But they like their animals, and that's fine. You know, I got nothing against it. You know, it just, you know, it's just a little nerve-wracking with the animals there. You know, I like a cat. The cat's nice and quiet. You know, comes in, maybe eats. You know, if you got a cat box, it poops in there and then goes back out and comes back the next day. You know, hopefully it comes back the next day. I prefer my animals to go out and enjoy, get out and do your animal thing, your animal instinct. That's why I like coyotes. I love coyotes around here. I really do. You know, free animal. You know, dogs and stuff. You know. I was looking at it. You know, there's no. You know, with cows, there's no there's no place where cows just roam free. Cows are just farm animals now. There's no cows that run free anymore. You know, they come from another animal. It's kind of like I guess cow is kind of like a hybrid or something. They were saying, but I was asking Grok, you know, where do cows come from and stuff, and they said they descend from a certain animal. And they said, but there's no place where cows run free anymore. They're basically, you know, manufactured animal for, you know, milk and you know, beef and stuff. So that's kind of weird. I didn't know that. You know. Oh, it's a hot day today. Hot in Illinois. Hot and humid out. Yeah. But I hope everyone's having a good day. July 4th is coming up. July 5th is my birthday and stuff. So, you know, be 59. That'll be 59. 60, 22. 3 more fucking years before I can collect Social Security. I gotta work 3 more fucking years. Yeah, Lord, I don't know if I'll make it. I gotta find something closer. But now I hear the Chicago Bears might be coming to Hammond. So if that happens, I bet you jobs will increase. You know, probably need people. That would be kind of cool. You know, construction jobs probably. A lot of people, put people to work in manufacturing jobs if they do it in Hammond. You know, if they actually do it. So, but then, you know, I'm sure prices will go up. You put the Bear Stadium in there, I bet you prices around and everything will go up. Because greed, you can't fight greed. It's hard. You know, people are just greedy. It is. Not everyone, but, you know, they are. Greed runs the world, just about. That's why there's so many people that, you know, don't have stuff in our homes and stuff. I believe, anyway, you know. So. But, about 8 minutes into this video, I'll show you one more time what I'm looking at. You know, sitting by the lake, enjoying the nice breeze that comes through. But it is a hot one today. A hot one? Oh. But what do you guys think? You know, when I see the airplane just standing in the sky, you think I'm crazy? Think I'm losing my mind like my kid thinks? He thinks I'm losing my mind. Maybe I am. You know, with that, and then the bright light that shot up straight up in the air looked like a shooting star. I don't know what's going on, you know. Sometimes you know, it's hard for me, you know, to understand the world the way it is. But then, sometimes, you know, I'll be driving and my mind will go completely dark and I won't even know where I'm going anymore. I'll be like, holy crap, where am I going? You know, what was I doing? You know, just losing my mind. Maybe a little. But I'll be alright. I'll try and survive it all for as long as I can. You know, it's not easy. I'm getting older, hair's falling out, teeth falling out. I need to probably go see a dentist pretty soon. Or I don't even, I got some kind of insurance. I don't know what's going on at work. They made me sign some paperwork for insurance. I don't know what it's all about. Like I said, I'm having a hard time understanding things and stuff, especially at work. You know, I don't know what they're thinking in the office and stuff. You know, I don't think no one's beating down their door to get to this job. But but yeah, if you made it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate anybody who watches the videos, and I appreciate y'all. Anytime. I have a couple other channels too, a gaming channel, gaming for old people, and another channel, Coins, Cash, and Collectibles, which I don't upload there much anymore, and then another channel about mental health, which I don't upload there much anymore. I should. I just don't have the time. Working, and it takes an hour to get there, an hour to get home. By the time you're tired after driving for an hour. Especially at 5:30 in the morning, and you start at 9. Them hours are just kind of rough. I'd rather start like at 2 or 3 in the afternoon and get off around 12, 1. That way it would give me more time. But it's 11 minutes into this video. I want to thank everybody for watching it. If you watched it all the way through, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I will catch you on the next... Another the park. Alright, thanks everybody. I love you. Bye.